guys doing? So today I have an exciting video for you guys. I'm actually doing a Copic illustration and I am going to be drawing myself as a zombie. That's right, I am zombifying myself. I'm going to be making my zombie Sona. So this is part of a little bit of a theme that I have. I do a few videos where I draw myself as a specific thing, and it turns out pretty cool, and I think you guys like them, so I kind of like doing these. It's a little bit of almost like a character design type thing. But yeah, I really did want to do a few Halloween themed ones for this, so yeah, we're going to do a zombie and I'm excited, so get ready. There's going to be a little bit of blood in this illustration, just a bit of a warning. Alright, let's get into it. So I know I said that we were going to do a Copic marker illustration, and we still are, but I wanted to start this off in Procreate on my iPad to do this sketch, because I had a little bit of an idea that I wanted to do, and I couldn't exactly do that traditionally yet because it's a little bit technical for me. So I actually wanted to try my hand and see if I could do a little bit of perspective in the background, because I wanted to do like a zombie illustration in like an apocalyptic sort of setting, obviously, and have some really cool stuff in the background. So as you can see, I'm drawing a little bit of an environment here, and there's some buildings, and there's like a vanishing point, and there's like a city that's silhouetted in the background. And as you can see, it is a little bit desolate and a little bit sort of, you know, destroyed. And that's the kind of setting that I wanted to draw my zombie in. So here I am doing the line art as well digitally. I often really do like to do digital line art, and at this point in time I just really wanted to try and do it a bit more, because digital line art I find is really fun. I always love the results I have when I do the line art digitally. I just feel like it's a little bit more refined and a little bit more polished, if you get what I mean. So now I have printed it out onto some Express-It blending card, and as you can see, I'm using my lovely Copic markers to color in the piece. Now I wanted to start with the background, because I find that coloring in the background just helps me sort of get a better idea for the contrast that I want to color in the character. So we're starting off with a sort of like a sunset-y kind of sky, and as you can see, I've actually drawn some sort of like dark clouds or smoke, and I did that digitally because I wanted to sort of layer the colors over the top and still have the smoke sort of like a crisp sort of silhouette. I find that really nice. And yeah, I just used a few different colors. I used a few different oranges and soft yellows to make a nice sort of gradient, while still having some sort of streaks in the sky to symbolize either like the place is sort of chaotic, but also like a sunset, you know, it's starting to get a little bit darker, so it's going to be a little bit creepy. So for the buildings, I wanted to make them look sort of dirty and dank and just like abandoned looking, so I decided to do a lot of broken windows and doors left open, but I also wanted to sort of hint to maybe a story in this. So as you can see, there are sort of wood planks being nailed over some of the doors and windows, and that is because in this world obviously there is zombies, so I wanted to have them like maybe people tried to barricade those buildings and keep some zombies out and see if they could try to be safe, but as you can tell, a lot of the windows are broken and doors left open, so zombies probably have gotten in there. But you know what, I really like the way that I sort of added those details to the background to try and convey a little bit more of a story to this illustration, not just like a cool looking zombie with a cool looking background. I want to see if like maybe I could hint to like another bit of a story behind there. So I decided to go with a lot of sort of greens and browns and greys in this illustration, because I wanted to try and make the place look like deserted and old and like chaotic. And yeah, I had a lot of fun doing those buildings and just like adding gross greens and smudges, and I don't know, it was a bit of a breath of fresh air because I like to sort of draw things that look, you know, nice and pretty and cool. But this time I actually got to sort of try my hand at drawing stuff that was like gross and like dirty, but like doing it on purpose. It was just so fun. So as you can see, I'm adding a lot of details over the top of the buildings with my markers, and I am using my colors Cardinal and Cadmium Red, which are some really nice sort of deep red colors, and I am drawing blood all over the place to sort of, I don't know, because, you know, it's a zombie apocalypse, so you kind of want to have some blood and, you know, gore about. Obviously not too much gore, it's mainly just the blood that I wanted to add to this. But as you can see in the background, there are sort of like scratch marks with like blood, as if maybe a zombie was like trying to break down those barricades. And as you can see, there's like blood coming out of like some of the windows, as if like maybe someone, you know, was like pushed out or jumped out of the window and hurt themselves. This is a very dark illustration, but I guess that's fitting because, you know, Halloween is happening. But yeah, for the background, I just wanted to have a few colors. I didn't want to have too many colors in this because I wanted to sort of convey a feeling of like, you know, horror and spookiness. So I just sort of kept with like dirty like earth tones, as well as some warm colors, obviously with the sky and the red of the blood, and like sort of dirty green colors. But there is a hint of blue in there, mainly because I just wanted to have some sort of semblance of like maybe like a symbolism of like past lives in this. Like, you can still look at this sort of place and think that this was somewhere that people have once lived, and you know, maybe that was someone's bedroom that, you know, now the curtains sort of hanging out of the window and blowing in the wind. But anyways, for the zombie herself, which is me, because this is me if I ended up turning into a zombie. Let's just hope that never happens. But yeah, I decided to go in with some greens and warm greys into the skin tone before I added the skin tones on the top. And this was just to sort of, I don't know, give a hint to like decay and like just make it look as gross as I could, and try and make this zombie look as unappealing as I can. And yeah, it was actually quite fun. I had a lot of fun doing that because, I don't know, it's just interesting to try and draw something that you want to look like ugly and gross, but also cool at the same time. But yeah, I ended up going with the normal sort of colors that I would color in my hair, which would be carob cocoa and burnt umber, and a little bit of buttercup yellow for the blonde parts in my hair. And yeah, I actually did a little bit of rim lighting around the outside as well, because we have this sort of bright light behind me, which is obviously the sunset. So I added a lot of yellows to a lot of the highlights in this illustration, and I tried to sort of push the shadows in this as well, just to try and give it quite a bit of contrast and draw your eye into the character that is, you know, quite creepy. And then just to add a little bit more creepiness over the top, I decided to go and just add in more blood over the character, because she's a zombie, so she's obviously going to be chowing down on some humans, and she is going to get messy. So yeah, there is blood all over her clothes and her arms and legs, and yeah, she looks pretty gross, so I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this one, and I don't know, it was really interesting because I have drawn zombies in the past, but I don't do it too much, so I found it really fun to draw, and yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a good time doing this one. So I'm actually going to be doing another drawing myself as a video really soon, and I know that's a little bit similar to what I have done just now, but I really want to do a demon as well, because I did a vampire before and now I'm doing a zombie, and then I'm going to do a demon after, so look forward to that. And here is the final results, and I find this drawing so unsettling and gross and disgusting and perfect, because That's exactly how I intended the drawing to be. Like, look at her legs. They're like coming off at the wrong angles and stuff. Like, you know, this is quite creepy. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it very much. And please hit like and subscribe to get your scribble fix in the future. And I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.